Hello, welcome to Black Channel in the list of great movies. In this video, we will introduce you 10 of the best biographical movies based on IMDb scores. France. Army. Josephine. These were the last words that Napoleon Bonaparte said. Number 10. Napoleon. Year of publication, 2023. IMDb rating 6.6. The latest movie of the famous cinema director Ridley Scott, with the wonderful acting of Joaquin Phoenix and Vanessa Kirby, which was released in 2023. The story of this biographical film is about the life of one of the famous kings of France. This film deals with the relationship between Napoleon and Josephine, as well as the victories and defeats of this man in great battles. Napoleon was one of the smart commanders of France who won 61 battles and has a different personality. Napoleon was the king of France for 10 years in the 19th century, and he was also the commander of 61 French battles in which 3 million people were killed in all these battles. When Napoleon was the king, he made many changes in the country and government of France, and he was able to transfer many countries to the Kingdom of France.
The most august Napoleon, Emperor of the French, is crowned and enthroned.
Number 9. Lincoln Year of Publication, 2012. IMDb rating 7.3. The story of this movie is about the history of America and Abraham Lincoln, which was made in 2012 by DreamWorks Picture Studio with a budget of $65 million, directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Daniel Day-Lewis, and it was able to become a successful movie with sales of $275 million.
I can't accomplish a goddamn thing of any human meaning or worth until we cure ourselves of slavery and end this pestilential war.
Daniel Day-Lewis was able to win the Best Actor Oscar for his wonderful performance in this film and became the first person in the history of cinema to win this big award 3 times. Abraham Lincoln is one of the most important presidents in American history. This film is about the American Civil War, which is a series of terrible events in this country and caused many problems among the American people. Abraham Lincoln, when the President of the United States, tried to remove slavery from this country forever, and that there would be no more slaves in this country so that everyone could live a good life with each other. Number 8. The Social Network, Year of Publication, 2010. IMDb rating 7.9. This film is about one of the most influential people in social networks, that is Mark Zuckerberg, who with his talent was able to make Facebook one of the most famous media networks in the world. The story of creating Facebook is very interesting, because when Mark was Harvard University and he couldn't communicate with the girl he liked, he went to his room and designed a site where people can communicate with each other. Mark was able to build this site and become a successful project, but Mark was expelled from Harvard University for 6 months for designing this site. But he had become very famous and popular in the university, and after a few months, he returned to the university and was able to work with Winklevoss create Facebook. This movie is based on a book called The Accidental Billionaires by Columbia Picture Studio, with a budget of $40 million. Number 7. Cinderella Man, Year of Publication, 2005. IMDb rating 8.1. Russell Crowe, after playing in 2 films in 2000 and 2001, which won an Oscar, returned to the cinema in 2005 in the movie Cinderella Man. And as the main actor was able to play a different movie, the story of this movie is about a man named James Braddock who, he has been a professional and famous boxer. James was able to win major awards while he was alive, and everyone calls him a hero. After a match that injured his right hand, James was forced to retire from professional sports forever, which made his life situation worse, and he no longer had money to continue living, which made James's family a poor family. But their situation changed one day, which made them save from the bad situation they were in at that time. Number 6. Hacksaw Ridge, Year of Publication, 2016. IMDb rating 8.2. This film is based on a true story and is about the national hero of the United States. Desmond T. Doss is a man who loved his country and was awarded the Medal of Honor in the Battle of Okinawa for his bravery and good behavior towards other soldiers. Also, this movie deals with the relationship between Desmond and his wife, who was in love with him, and also his thoughts on religion and politics, which are very interesting and valuable. After Doss enters the United States Army, he tries to serve as a doctor for the army, but he faces many problems that he has to do his best for his goal. Desmond Doss, who as a doctor he serves for the army and refuses to own a gun or kill enemy soldiers, which makes him appear in a court-martial as a guilty soldier. The main actor of this movie is Andrew Garfield, whose wonderful performance has made Hacksaw Ridge one of the best movies of his life. Number 5. Raging Bull. Year of publication: 1980. IMDb rating: 8.2. This movie was made in 1980, directed by Martin Scorsese and starring Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. And the story of this movie is about a man named Jake LaMotta, who was a professional boxer and loved to be one of the best boxers, and has made all his efforts for this great success. The movie Raging Bull was made based on a book called Raging Bull, My Story, with a budget of $18 million, and it was able to become a successful movie. Robert De Niro gained 25 kilos to play in this movie, and also met the main character of this movie, Jake LaMotta, and trained with him several times so that he could act like a professional boxer in Raging Bull.
The winner is Robert De Niro, the Raging Bull.
Robert De Niro won the Oscar and Golden Globe for his performance in this film, and the famous director Francis Ford Coppola has chosen this film as his top 10 films. Number 4. Oppenheimer. Year of publication: 2023. IMDb rating: 8.3. One of the wonderful films of 2023, directed by Christopher Nolan, which won Oscar and Golden Globe awards in different categories. The story of this movie is about the life of Robert Oppenheimer, the creator and father of the atomic bomb, who is an American physicist who was able to create the scariest and most dangerous bomb in the world on the orders of the American president during World War II and killed many people in Japan. The events that happened in the city of Hiroshima are considered one of the most frightening events in history. This movie tells the story of Robert Oppenheimer's life and what happens to him after making the atomic bomb. Number 3. Braveheart. Year of publication: 1995. IMDb rating: 8.3. The story of Braveheart is about William Wallace, a man who hated the English forever because of the bad things that happened to him as a child. In 1290, with the death of Margaret, Queen of Scots, who was only 8 years old, the members of the government decided to replace her with King Edward I, so that Edward would be the new King of Scotland. But before this happened, English soldiers attacked Scotland, and by killing many people, they made Scotland for England. When William Wallace saw these terrible events as a child, he decided to take the throne from the English with the cooperation of the people of Scotland and start a new revolution in Scotland.
Hi, Mom. What do you think? Look at my shoes. Aren't they great?
My God, you look like a gangster.
Number 2. Goodfellas. Year of publication: 1990. IMDb rating: 8.8. One of the great movies of cinema, and this list of 10 directed and written by Martin Scorsese and starring Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci was released in theaters in 1990 by Warner Brothers. This movie is based on the successful book Wise Guy, written by Nicholas Pileggi, and its story is about a man named Henry Hale, a gangster who wanted to be a member of big gangster groups since childhood, and believed that being a gangster is better and more valuable than being the president of the United States. That's why he tried his best to be a gangster one day.
What the fuck is so funny about me? Tell me. Tell me what's funny.
Get the fuck out of here.
Henry managed to become a member of a dangerous gangster group, and after a few months, what he did made him become one of the important members of this group. Henry soon became a popular man in this group, and with his talent, he was able to gain a lot of wealth. But what the members of this group did caused their lives to be destroyed. Number 1. Schindler's List. Year of publication: 1994. IMDb rating: 9.1. A black and white historical drama film directed and produced by Steven Spielberg, based on the book Schindler's Ark, was produced by Universal Pictures in 1994 with a budget of $22 million and an astonishing $330 million. There are many movies based on popular books in the world, but this movie is undoubtedly one of the best movies on this list. The story of this movie is about Oskar Schindler, a rich German man who was able to live by building a factory during World War II to save thousands of people from the Holocaust. Steven Spielberg is one of the famous cinema workers who has made wonderful films, but Schindler's List is the best film of this director's life according to critics.
One day some of the kids from the neighborhood carried my mother's groceries all the way home. You know why? It was out of respect.